Okay. I'm obviously not Melanie Mitro, but she is traveling today, so I'm filling in for her. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm really hungry. I haven't had anything since my shake this morning. I'm Rachel Mitchell. I am a 3-star Diamond Premier Coach, and I'm helping Melanie run this training with you guys. And I am really glad to talk to you today. So you guys have all been through our week 1 call. Our new coach kickoff call. So at this point, this being the 3rd day of our training, you should have launched your business by now. Has everybody done that?
Yeah.
No. No? Who said no? Mary? Mary, good.
I have a good reason though.
Okay, what is it?
So I got added to the group at like 9:30 p.m. on day 1. So I missed the prep days and I wanted to do it at the right time. So I was going to do it last night and then I was like, oh, it's Halloween. That's probably not smart to do it on Halloween. People aren't going to be on Facebook. So I've been patiently waiting. I have it all ready to go. I'm so excited to do it, but I'm going to hopefully do it tonight if no other roadblocks come up. So I haven't been inviting either because I haven't announced yet. And that's like the first thing before I can really do any invites or anything. So I'm like, every time the homework, I have to say like, no, I didn't do it, but it's because I didn't even launch yet. So
yeah, I would do it tonight for sure. And like, then if you feel like, maybe it was kind of like, I don't know, for me, like people are at church on Wednesday night, but even if you post it after 8 o'clock, I mean, there are tons of people online. So I would definitely do it tonight. And then if you feel like you need to do it again at a higher traffic time, maybe like next Sunday night or Monday night or something, you could do it again. There's nothing wrong with talking about it twice.
Okay.
All right. So at this point, if you have launched your coach announcement, then you should be posting and inviting and following up and being plugged into this training. So those are basically the things that I'm going to talk to you guys about. And I'm going to mute you guys because you can hear me, but you can unmute yourself or just like type in the chat bar or raise your hand or something in order to ask a question. Okay. All right. So we talk a lot about posting. You're going to hear us talk a lot about posting, and what you post matters. Now, there are different points of view on this as to whether or not you should post 5 times a day. You should post 3 times a day. It doesn't. Just figure out what works for you. But basically, social media is your business platform. I mean, you don't go into an office, you don't pay for advertising, you don't put up billboards, you don't, send out flyers. Yes, you can send out emails and stuff, but social media is your platform. That's where you run your business. It's how you tell people what you're doing. It's how you invite people, and it's how you educate people, you inspire them. And so we have to be posting. If you're not posting, then you don't even have a business. And so we want you to kind of focus on in your posts. Obviously, you want to motivate people. You want to inspire them with your posts. And there are really like 3 things that you can do with your posts. You can educate, you can inspire, and you can just entertain, more or less. So if you focus on those 3 goals with your post, you're gonna be fine. So, but we're each different. So, like, I am a mom with 2 little boys. I'm not gonna be talking about like going on spring break and getting like the perfect booty for spring break or something like that. No, I'm going to be talking about how to eat healthy, how to be strong for my family, how to get my kids to eat certain things. And so you definitely got to figure out what kind of who you are. Like, what is your message? What do you want to share with people? And I always teach my coaches, come up with 5 things, like 5 things that define who you are. Maybe you are a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're a teacher. Maybe you're like a businesswoman. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you don't have kids. Maybe you love clean eating. Maybe you hate clean eating. I don't know. Maybe you're a cancer survivor. For me, it's my family. Definitely clean eating, meals that my family can eat. My faith is a huge part of what I do and why I do it. I'm a full-time working mom, so I have to make my nutrition, my coaching business, all of it work around that. And then we're very like outdoorsy people. We love to be outside playing. We love to go hiking. We love to go camping. So those are just kind of 5 things about me. So make a list of 5 things about you and don't compare yourself to anyone else. That's such a deadly trap. Especially as new coaches, even as older coaches, it's so easy to compare. Oh, she said that really well, or oh, her picture looked really good, or oh, she said this in her challenge group post. Just focus on who you are and the message that you want to get out to people. And then you start posting. So your workout post needs to be one of the things that you're posting every single day. Obviously, you're going to have days where you don't work out, but you've got to be consistent in being proof that this works. If you're not doing the workouts, if you're not meal planning, if you're not eating clean, if you're not using your portion containers, then nobody's going to join you. Nobody's going to do it with you, right? You've got to be the proof that the product works. So your morning workout or your afternoon workout, or maybe you work out when your kids are asleep or something like that. You talk about, it's not, okay, so a lot of coaches just throw up a post and they're like, okay, I did my workout. That's it. 21-day fix. I'm done. That's great. And it's good to see that you're doing that. But why did you work out? Like, what motivated you to work out? Like, is it because, it's the only time you could do it because your kids were asleep? Or did you get up at 4:30 because like if you don't get it done then you'll lose all motivation? Or if you work out late at night, is that because it's just kind of like your you time before you go to bed? And then what motivates you to work out? Like, is it because you've struggled with weight or diets or whatever for all these years? Is it because like your kids, like you want to be able to play with your kids, you want to be able to chase them and to have the energy to do what you want to with them? Is it because like it gives you confidence, in your relationship with your husband? Like, what motivates you? Your post should have more meat than just like, I got up and I worked out today, right? I use scripture in my post, because my faith does motivate me. So I definitely want to inspire and give people a kind of a behind the scenes look at my life with those workout posts. All right. So that's always my morning post. In the evening, I typically share like a picture of what I'm eating. I might share a recipe. I might do that at lunchtime. I might give a tip for getting your kids to eat their broccoli or something like that. And then before I go to bed at night, I have another post, typically like a challenge group post, or it's an inspirational post, or like an educational post. Like, I'm going to put out my workout clothes before I go to bed. I'm going to set my alarm for this time. This helps me stay on track. And so those are just kind of examples of how you might post throughout the day. I think it is possible to post too much. I think that if you are just like throwing up posts to throw them out there just to have something to post, I think that can turn people off. So like I was encouraging a new coach today, you can focus on posting 3 to 5 times a day, but if you post just twice, just make sure they're really good posts that have meat and they have content to them, all right? And so I think that's okay. But you definitely want to post more than once a day because, again, this is your social media platform. If you post just in the morning, there are tons of people who are not online early in the morning, and they're not going to see anything that you're about or what you're doing. So definitely post more than once. And another thing, I know that you guys are overwhelmed with information and with this training and with calls and things like that. And definitely posting overwhelmed me in the beginning. I didn't even know what to say. Like, I had no clue. I was not an inspirational person. I was not one of those people that just came into this like with all these ideas and words. And so I had to really plan out my posts if I wanted them to be good. And so I would schedule my posts. You can use a service called Hootsuite. It's I can type it in here, but it's called Hootsuite, or there's one called Buffer. And I would actually like schedule out all my evening posts because I knew that I was either going to be like trying to work my business, or I was going to be with my kids, or I was going to be on a call or something like that. And so I would just schedule out like some inspirational posts to go out every single night. It might be like something I pulled from the internet, or if it was scripture or stuff. Back then I did use stock photos. I don't encourage you to use a lot of stock photos because people people just kind of skim past those. But, you know, I would post some inspirational things. And so now too, I was sharing with a coach today, like I have this private group in Facebook, and it's just me in there, and I will just jot down my ideas. Like when I have an idea, I'll go into that group, I'll write down a message that I want to share at another time, or I'll write down like some statistics or something that I know I want to share, and I'll come back to it later, so that I always have this library, this catalog of posts to pull from when I know that I need to post something. Because to be quite honest, I'm not always just inspired like 24/7. You know, I don't always have something to say, although my coaches would probably argue with that. But I just didn't, it helped me to plan and to just be a better manager of my time, rather than just sitting around with my phone, like trying to come up with something to say, right? That's not good for anyone. Another thing is that this book, is everybody reading The Compound Effect? Hopefully you are. A lot of my workout posts and the inspiration in those posts came from this book in the beginning. They were either from my daily devotion, or something from this book, or something that Autumn would say on the 21-day fix. You know, I would just pull that and run with it, and definitely make sure that those morning posts were inspirational. But make out a plan. You know, make a posting plan for your week. There's no reason why you can't do that. You know, Mondays, like a never miss a Monday. That can be your morning post. Tuesday is Transformation Tuesday. That gives you something to post about. Wednesday is, what is Wednesday? I don't even know what you call it. Workout Wednesday or something. You could come up with something. Thursday is Throwback Thursday, or Thirsty Thursday. You could share about your shake. Friday is Fearless Friday. And so Saturday is like never miss or Saturday sweat session, you know, like, so those are things that you can plan out and already know that you can post about those things. So that hopefully gives you guys some ideas. And then just, you know, give people tips for eating out, for what kitchen tools can you keep in your kitchen for meal prep, you know, things like that. It's going to feel really odd at first, but I promise that the posting becomes more natural, and people will message you. They'll thank you for the inspiration. People you have no idea are watching you or following you. You may be getting like 1 like a day on your posts, but I promise you that people are seeing what you're posting. So don't be discouraged, and just keep it up. And 2, this is important. It doesn't all need to be like Beachbody, health and fitness coach related. You definitely need to be sharing with people about who you are. So, you know, like I'll post funnies that my kids say from time to time, or if we go camping, or if we go to a movie, or something like that. I just want to show people who I am and what my life is like through those non-Beachbody related posts. So that's important. Another big thing that I do in my posts is that I ask questions. So whether it's like in a morning workout post, or if it's a post not related to Beachbody or whatever, like ask people questions. Try to get engagement on your posts. It can be like, you know, I'm giving up my Diet Cokes. What's your biggest weakness when it comes to a drink? Is it Dr. Pepper? Is it like sweet tea? Is it wine? You know, like what's hardest for you to give up? If it's about your kids, if it's like a funny of your kids, like my kid kept me up all night. Or, you know, like, what do you do with when your kids are cutting teeth? Or, you know, like ask questions, get people to engage on your posts. And that really helps people see your posts more. It's a whole Facebook like algorithm thing, but the more engagement you get on your posts, the better. And so that's kind of like my spiel for posting. Do you guys have any questions about that? Or are you struggling with any of that? On Instagram, obviously you should be using hashtags if you're on Instagram. That helps other people find you. Don't use 21 Day Fix. Don't use Coach. Don't use like Shakeology. Don't use those hashtags, because that's just going to bring people to you who are already doing it. All right. So use hashtags. Again, come up with that list of things about you. Are you a stay-at-home mom? Do you homeschool? Do you like to drink LaCroix? Do you wear Under Armour clothes? Do you do like I have a She Reads Truth Bible? You know, like look, just walk around your house and look at the things that you use and use those hashtags, and that's going to draw people to you that are like you. All right. And so that's important. That's a really good tip to help you with Instagram. All right. Does anybody have any questions about any of that before I go on? Okay. All right. So, your photos. I was not a big picture taker. Like I didn't know anything about it. Like I mean, you may see my photos now and you're like, wow, well, in the beginning they stunk. Like they were awful. They were dark. They were grainy. Like you couldn't even see what I was doing half the time. So your pictures, your feed should definitely reflect who you are. And that means that your posts, you've got to pay attention to your photos. All right. And so like you, especially your Facebook page, like what does your banner have on it? Is it like a picture of your cat, or is it a picture of like something totally unrelated to what you're doing? Start there. Go to Canva, create a banner photo that reflects who you are. And here I can share my screen with you guys and show you mine. Now, hold on just a second. Hold on. Well, it's not going to work. Hold on. My computer's being really slow. But you should have your banner photo, you know, and you don't have to like cut out your family. It should include pictures of your family, but you know, you can create a banner photo pretty easily in Canva, CANVA.com, that reflects your life. You know, it can be a workout photo. It can be a picture of you with your kids. If you do love your cat, put your cat up there. It can be a picture of like a meal that you made, but that's going to give people who come to your page a pretty quick understanding of who you are and what you're all about, right? And I'm trying to pull up my like page, because I do most of mine on my like page now. Here we go. I can share this. So this is can you guys see that? That's my banner. And you know, like if you're on your personal page, you can do the same thing. But I went to Canva and I used like their banner photo template, and I just made that. It took like 3 minutes, literally. I just drag and drop. And so like, so if somebody comes to my page, they can obviously see like I have a family, I work out, and then just a few scrolls down and people should understand like what you're about. And it's loading really slowly for some reason, but your feed matters. Like what you post on your feed matters. And so that's really important. Your profile picture should definitely be a picture of you, a very clear picture of you, because if somebody suggests you and says, hey, go to Dale's page and see what she's doing, and they go and there's like a picture of I don't know, like a mountain scene, or like I said, your animals or something, people are not really going to connect with you very quickly. So that should be something that you guys do pretty quickly, pretty early on, change that stuff. So like on my personal page, I just made this banner saying that I had moved, because I'm really trying to drive people to my like page, but I'll probably go back and change that again. But even there, it says faith, fitness, and nutrition fun. And then if you scroll through my page, you can see, obviously, you know, within a few scrolls that I'm about like fitness and exercising and food, and you know, there's a picture of my kid. And so that your Facebook feed, your social media feed should reflect who you are. Does that make sense? You guys get that? And it's also a place where you can handle objections, like your posts. If you're getting objections from people, which I know you are, if you're not, like there's something you're not inviting or something, like, because we all get objections. So you can handle objections in your posts as well. So if you're getting cost objections, if you're getting time objections, if you're getting I don't drink that shake objection, or I don't drink my meals objections, like you can talk about those things in your posts. It's a really good way to handle objections. You know, one thing that I get from people a lot is that, you know, clean eating is boring. Like I like food. I like to eat food. I like flavor. And so like I sure enough post a lot of pictures of my recipes that I like flavor too. Like we use spice, we use pepper, we use hot sauce, we use all kinds of stuff. And so like I talk about those things on my social media page. All right. I just made a post this morning about Shakeology, and I handled the cost objection. And the first line was like, I'm not going to pay that much for a bag of powder. All right. And so like I told my story, and I handled that objection through that post. And, you know, it may not work for everybody, but I know that people are going to read it, and that's going to help people that help my conversations in the future, and maybe even speak to people who have already given me the cost objection. And so do those things in your posts. People say, don't have time, talk about your 30-minute workouts, but view your posting and your photos as practice. All right. You're not going to nail it right from the get-go. Like I said, my photos used to be horrible. And they were horrible for a long time because we don't have a ton of lighting in our house. And so I had to figure out ways to make them better. I got a light that illuminates my photos. And then, you know, there's this little like light you can put on your phone. You can order that from Amazon. It's like $9. So, you know, make sure that your photos are clear and that people can see through your photos like what you are about. And just definitely find your voice. Find your voice as a coach. Find your voice in your message, and just practice at that. And so does anybody have any questions about photos? Some of my favorite apps that I use are Snapseed. I use Snapseed to edit my photos. I use Photofy sometimes. I don't put a lot of words on my photos anymore. I used to before, but I'm finding that people respond more to just me. They respond more to just a picture of me or whatever I'm doing. I use WordSwag if I do put words on my pictures. Canva is definitely a big one that I use. And so those are mainly the ones that I use. Melanie might use something different, but I use Snapseed every day in almost every single photo. And you're creating a brand with your photos, you know, so if you use a certain filter on Instagram or through Snapseed or something, use it every time so that when somebody sees your photo, they're like, oh, that's Bridget's photo, you know? And so you're creating a brand with what you post and the type of pictures that you post. All right. So do you guys have any questions about that?
So I had a question. I know that you mentioned the little light that you can add to your phone. Plus I have a Lumi case.
Yeah.
But one of the things for workout, so my workout space is darker. Mm-hmm. Is there a light that is recommended or one that maybe people have used that I could buy off of Amazon?
Yeah, I have, and here, look, I'm just going to turn my computer around and show you. Because that's the easiest thing to do. Hold on. Look. Okay, this is my house. Sorry. See that light right there? This is what I use.
Yes.
I love it. Like I use it every day, and it's like $125, I think, which is an investment, but like ask for it for Christmas. But look, it's awesome.
Okay.
It gets pretty bright. And I'm sure there are others, but that's the best one that I have found. Because I did the one too, like where it has the big like light and I don't even know what it's called.
Just seems like it would be bulky.
It was too big. Like, and I move this all over my house. Like I take it to the kitchen if I do a live video or something like that. And it's awesome. And it was like $125, I think. I can share that link with you guys. I don't know the brand. Wait. It's that. But I can share the link with you. It's on Amazon. Yeah, no problem. Because it is important because, I mean, when you think about when you scroll through Facebook or Instagram, like whose photos do you stop and read? You know, whose posts do you stop and read? If they have a good picture, then you're going to stop and read it, right? And so it's really important. Let's see. What else? Hold on. Okay. Any other questions about that? No? Okay. So the next thing, so you've posted your challenge, your coach announcement, right? So now you are going to start posting about your challenge groups. So for me, my challenge group this month does not start until November 27th because of the holidays, but you always, always, always should be inviting to something, all right? And so like for me right now, I'm inviting to coaching and to Clean Week. I have a Clean Week group that starts next Monday. And so like my posts, like I will throw in my posts about, I have made a couple of just Clean Week posts where I am talking about Clean Week, what we'll do and all that stuff. But I like to throw in an invite just into my everyday post about like what I'm inviting to. And so like I don't make a lot of those like, okay, this is my challenge group. This is what I'm doing. I'm inviting 10 people to it. I do that maybe like once or twice a week, but I typically try to just include my invites into my daily posts at least once a day. Because if you don't talk about it, then people aren't going to know what it is that you're doing. You know, if you don't talk about your challenge groups if you don't talk about clean week, if you don't talk about workouts and all that stuff, then people aren't going to know. So I am daily just trying to tell my story through my posts, and then inviting people to kind of just join this lifestyle with me, right? And so I use Canva a lot for some of those things, but it's pretty much just my photos, my day-to-day photos. A good ad is emotional. It tells your story. You don't have to go overboard and create this image with all these words on it. Like we actually used to do that when I was a coach. But again, that doesn't work anymore. A simple image that catches people's eyes, and then your wording in your challenge group ad should just be your story. It shouldn't be jumping into like, okay, I'm running a 30-day challenge group, and we're going to work out. We're going to drink Shakeology. We're going to like meal plan. I've got 5 spots in it. Well, yeah, that's great. That's some good information. But like, why are you doing it? Like, why are you running a challenge group? What does it tell about you and your story? That's what people connect to. And then so I might say something like, so my story, a big part of my story is PMS, PMDD. My hormones have always been something that I've struggled with. And so like, I might jump into like, for years, I struggled with, I had to take birth control because my hormones were out of control. It really affected my relationship with my husband, with my family, just because I went through these spells of like being angry or being depressed or feeling just kind of blah about myself. And once I figured out how to control that with the way that I eat, with the food that I put into my body, by moving my body and exercise and drinking more water and less Diet Cokes, then my life changed, and my relationships got better. My relationships got stronger. And I'm so passionate and about that I am inviting 5 women to this challenge group that I have starting on November 27th. I want to help 5 women who have goals to be a better version of themselves, who want to improve their relationships, who want to be stronger for their families, for their marriage, for their kids, And then I'll say, we're going to meal plan every week. We're going to have daily devotions. We're going to replace 1 meal a day with our superfood shake. We're going to work out for at least 30 minutes a day. I've got 5 spots. The deadline to join is November 23rd. Does this sound like something you want to do? If so, then I want you to comment below with your email or send me a private message, and I will share all the details with you tomorrow. Okay, so that would be like an example of me sharing my story and then going into a challenge group invite, all right? And so this is something definitely that you have to practice. Like, it does not just come, like all these words don't just come to you naturally. Some of you, hopefully it does, but it was definitely something I had to practice for a long time. And one of the biggest things that I can tell you, the best advice I can give you, is don't copy other people's posts. Don't copy your coach's post. Don't copy somebody else's in this post. Yes, I may pull some wording that I like that somebody used, but it's got to be your story that you are telling people, because that's what people will connect to, all right? And also, Facebook will hide your posts if they see that you're copying other people's words. That's not good. So definitely you should be talking about your challenge groups or your clean week or coaching at least once or twice a week in like a major like challenge group ad. And then, definitely sprinkle it into your other posts as well. All right. So like if I post a picture about a clean eating or a meal that I make, and I'll say, oh, I'm going to share some recipes like this in clean week. If you want to join us for that 7-day challenge, just comment below or send me a message, So that's one way that I can work things in too. What happens when you do the challenge group invites and ask people to comment below and then no one does? It's okay. You act like they do. You just gotta act like they do. I might say in the next challenge group ad, like, I've got 3 spots left, or I'm sending out invites to people who comment or who messaged me about this challenge group. But you have to be. That's not the main way that you're going to get people signed up, to be honest. You've got to be inviting people, especially in the beginning. Like, you're not going to get a lot of people that are just like running to you because they don't know what you're doing. They don't know what you're about. You haven't been consistent in this long enough for people to trust you. And so that is really important. You've got to be so consistent in your posting and then in your inviting and your vital behaviors, because, it is new. People are just starting to see you do this for a little while. And how many people post on Facebook that they're going to get healthy and lose weight and do a diet, and then the next week you see them like at at Hardee's, like eating 2 chicken biscuits for breakfast, right? So people don't trust you yet. Like, you have to build that credibility and that trust with people. And you will, but even today, the majority of people that I get in my challenge groups are people that I'm building those conversations with. I'm forming that relationship, and then I'm inviting one-on-one to a challenge group. So I always say that your posts are just kind of like insurance for your invites. It's like it backs it all up, and gives you credibility to say, hey, I'm doing this too. All right. So that's what I'm going to move into next, is the inviting process. But yes, you got to be like, one of my friends says it this way. She said, you got to be posting and talking about it, but you have to be inviting, because like if you talk about planning for your kid's birthday party or your anniversary party or something like that, if you build it all up like on social media and talk about how great it's going to be, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, but then you never invite anybody to the party, then it doesn't do any good. So you got to see this as the same thing. I know that inviting people to challenge groups is intimidating, but you're posting and you're sharing and you're telling people this thing works for me and I'm getting all these results, and then you never invite anybody. Well, that's not fair. That's not cool. You're just kind of like the girl that teased everybody and then didn't ask anybody to join you, right? And so that's where the inviting comes in, and inviting is so important. But I will say that for me personally, I really like to I teach my team that, we've got the 4 vital behaviors. You've got posting, being proof of the products, you've got inviting, you've got doing your personal development, and then you've got recognition. Well, part of inviting for me is I have to build that relationship. And so this is kind of my process for inviting. And you're new, and so you haven't had a lot of time to develop a lot of relationships, but you do have your warm market, okay? So your warm market are people that you already know, people that know you, that probably, hopefully trust you a little bit. So start with them. And you start to invite them, and you say, hey, like I have just started this, like I found this thing that works for me. It's just working out at home. It's like changing the way I eat. It's incorporating this drink it's called Shakeology. And I'm really looking for 3 people this month to do it with me for my first month. Would you be willing to let me explain to you what a challenge group is and invite you to do this with me? All right. So you start with those people you know first. It could be a coworker. It could be your best friend. It could be your sister, your mom, your aunt. I don't know. You start with those people first. But in my power hour every single day, what I do is I am adding friends. You've got to be adding new friends on social media, whether it's those Facebook people that they suggest, whether it's like you go to your college roommate's profile page and you start adding her friends, or, maybe you join a group of like moms who knit, or I don't know, whatever your interests are, moms who travel, whatever. And you start finding people there. But right now, it should not be hard for you to start adding friends, all right? I had like 200 friends on Facebook when I started. Obviously, I was going to run through those people pretty fast, but now I have like 4,000 something friends, okay? Because I've simply added friends every single day that I've been a coach. And that's just expanding your market. That's expanding the number of people who are seeing your posts and getting to know you. And so the next thing that I do is I connect. I send like, hey girl messages, or I'll go and I'll like and I'll comment on some people's posts. Nothing. It's not an invite. It's not a message or anything. It's just me connecting with these people over something. All right. And it's genuine. It's not like I'm not just going to go and like a comment on a bunch of things I don't even care about. Like, it's genuine. Maybe it's like somebody's kid's outfit. I ask where they got the outfit, or I say, oh, your vacation pictures are beautiful, or, oh, that's the funniest thing I've ever heard, or something like that. I'm just liking and commenting on people's posts. And when I do that, they see that, right? And they see that I'm interacting with them, and they're probably going to go to my page and see what I'm doing, right? And so then the next step would be, after I've friended them, I'll wait like a week or 2, just depends, and I'll comment and I'll like on some of their posts. Then the next week, I'll probably send a hey girl message about something on their page. So it might be, hey, Susie, I saw your family photos. How in the world did you coordinate your outfits so perfectly? Like, I have so much trouble with that. I'll connect with people, send hey girl messages. Still nothing about Beachbody, nothing about my fitness groups. But the more that I'm doing this, the more they're seeing my posts. All right. So I know that. Facebook says when I send this person a direct message, oh, they must be friends. I'm going to start putting Rachel's posts in her newsfeed more. All right. And not only that, you know that when you send somebody a message, if they don't know you that well, they're going to go and scope you out first. Right. And so that is my strategy. And then like a month later, it depends on how the conversation goes. Like I'm keeping up with it. I'm tracking it. I am going to, like next month when I run my challenge group, I'm going to say, hey, Susie, you know, we've been talking about this, but I was planning my next faith and fitness accountability group and your name came to mind. And I just wanted to reach out to you and see if you'd be interested in learning more about it. Do you have any health and fitness goals for yourself? All right. So I'm all about building that relationship. Like I don't do a ton of cold inviting anymore because it's just not me. It's just not my style. I don't like that. But in the beginning I did. So in the beginning I would actually, anybody that liked my posts, especially like that coaching post or my morning workout post, like you'll start to see that you've got these people who are following you and they're following you consistently. And so like I would reach out to those people and say like, hey, Martha, thanks so much for the love on my post. I hope that I'm inspiring you in some way. Do you have any health and fitness goals for yourself? And I would just start the conversation that way. And pretty much nobody's going to say, no, I don't have any health and fitness goals. Everybody does. So that's a safe question to ask. And it's a good conversation starter. And also like thanking someone, say, thank you so much for supporting me. That means so much to me. And that you're connecting genuinely with them over that. So that is a really good place to start talking to people. Also get out that memory jogger. You know, Facebook provides you with this thing called a memory jogger. It's in the Coach Online office. It's probably in the Vimify training too. And you can just start like brainstorming. Like you can come up pretty quickly, like with 50 to 100 people that you could reach out to and invite. And there's all kinds of sample invites in there. Again, just keep it simple. Don't word vomit on people. Just say, hey, you know, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have started this health and fitness journey and it is just like, it works for me. I'm a busy mom. I work full time, but this is something that I can fit into my day and it's something that I know I can sustain. And I wanted to invite 3 more people this month to do this with me. Would you be interested in joining me? Simple invite, simple conversation starter. And that way that you are actively inviting. And you should be inviting 2 to 3 people a day during your power hour. And again, it might be that you're inviting people to Clean Week. It might be that you're inviting people to coaching. It might be that you're inviting people to your challenge group that starts at the end of the month. But always be inviting and following up. You're going to get dead silence from some people. You're going to get people that you go through this whole conversation with, and then you get to the price and the cost, and they're like, no, I can't spend that much. It's the holidays. That's okay. Like, that's normal. Don't let that stop you. That's totally part of what we are doing. But you want 3 people. And heck, you know, this month, if you sell double time challenge packs, you get 3 Success Club points for those. Did you know that? Like, if you sell a double time challenge pack for November, you get 3 Success Club points instead of 2. So if you have family members that have kids or whatever, tell them about it. They can do it with Shakeology or they can do it with Daily Sunshine. And so, you know, that you want 2 or 3, depending on what you sell, but aim for 3 new people this month to join a challenge group with Shakeology on HD or with the challenge pack. All right. And so just keep pumping that well. That is what you are doing. You are starting conversations. You're posting. Your posts are kind of like your backup for your invites. And even when people tell you no, it's okay. They will probably come back later if you're consistent. And it's like I told Dale today, you know, when people tell you no, don't just say, okay, thanks, see ya. Like, offer them something. Say, okay, I totally understand. Handle their objections, like address their objections. But if they still say no, say, okay, well, can I give you a meal plan to follow? Or can I share with you some of my favorite like Thanksgiving recipes that kind of help me stay on track? That way you're not like closing off that whole conversation. You're not like ending it. You're keeping the door open for future invites, future follow-ups, future challenge groups. Okay. Let's see what else. Following up. I didn't cover that. You got to follow up. So like I said, you're going to get people who just say nothing, or, you know, they're really interested, and then you drop the challenge group description and the price, and they're like, nothing, you get nothing, follow up with those people. It doesn't mean that they hate you and they think you're crazy for what you're offering. It could mean that they got your message and their kid was throwing up or something at the time and they never got to respond back to it. Or, they've just been really busy, or maybe they're thinking about it. A lot of times people have questions. So, if I go through a good conversation and then I get nothing, I'm like, hey, I wanted to follow up. I know you were really interested, but I didn't hear back from you. Do you have any questions about the challenge group or the challenge pack? And usually 9 times out of 10, people do have questions or they have a cost objection. And so we're going to handle those cost objections. We're going to teach you how to do that. But definitely don't shy away from them. If they have objection, that's okay. That's an opportunity for you to educate them, to explain, and to tell them what the cost breaks down into. Because, really, guys, think about how many people pay a gym membership of every month. That's like $50 at least. So many pay a trainer. Some people pay people to plan their meals for them, or they're going and buying a ton of clean eating produce and then it all goes to waste. Explain to them, the cost for this challenge group is access to your workouts and it's food. Shakeology is food. It's not an extra pill. It's not a patch. It's not an extra supplement. It's just your breakfast. It's 30 breakfasts, or it's 30 lunches, or whatever. That's the cost. You're not paying me to be your coach. You're just paying for the supplies you need to be a part of the challenge group, and that's food and a workout. Okay. And so how much does it cost to be in a challenge group? A challenge pack is $160 roughly. That's the average. Or, if they just sign up with Shakeology on Home Direct, that's $129. Okay. So you got to follow up. You'll lose all kinds of people if you don't follow up, and they may still tell you no, and that's okay. You still leave that door open, and ask if you can follow up next month. So I do that with everybody. People, unless they just flat out say no, I don't want to do this ever. I say, I'm running a challenge group every single month. Could I follow up with you in December, or could I follow up with you in January? And most people say yes. Okay, and there are people that I just keep following up with. I've been doing this for 3.5 years, and I have people that are just now signing up for challenge groups or coaching or something, but you just keep that relationship alive and you track it. You have to track who you're talking to. For me in the beginning, it was just always in my calendar, my little desk calendar. I would write down, if you create this grid, make a cross. In one corner, you write people that you invite. In one corner, you write people that you add as friends that day. In one corner, you write people you connect with. And then in the other corner, write people that you need to follow up with, or that you follow up with that day. And so I just tracked mine in my calendar for a long, long time. But we have other, there's Google Streak, there's all kinds of different things that you can use. But especially in the beginning, you can keep up with it in a notepad. And just make sure you know who you're adding so that you can go and connect with them next week. Make sure you know who you invited so you can go and follow up with them next week. $150, yeah, that's for the $160 challenge pack. That includes, the All Access Challenge Pack is a year membership to Beachbody On Demand, and that's every workout that we've ever created. That's a whole year, and then you get a 30-day supply of Shakeology with that, and portion containers for the $160. Yeah. And then, if they choose to continue Shakeology, it's $129, or they can switch over to a coach and get the discount. So it comes out to, in the challenge pack, Shakeology comes out to I don't know, depends on how you calculate it. But if you bought the All Access Challenge Pack just by itself, separately, it would be $230. All right. So it's a pretty big savings to do it as a challenge pack. No, it'd be more than that because you get the containers. So it'd be $260. Okay. But, Shakeology, just if they were to buy Shakeology at the regular price, it comes out to about $4 a day. As a coach, we pay less. Let's see. The other thing is personal development. Are you reading your personal development? My faith is a huge thing that motivates me, and I don't go a day without my devotions and my scripture reading. And in the beginning, I was like, that's enough to get me by. Like, I just need me some Jesus and I'm going to rock this, right? And that's true. But this was like, I didn't do this for about 3 months, and I could tell a huge difference in my business. And this, like, God created people with this business sense to teach us how to do this and to teach us how to be consistent. And so The Compound Effect is an awesome book to get started with. It just talks about consistency and building momentum and doing those small things like our power hour every single day, and that compounds. And you'll find that if you're doing that, if you're adding friends, you're connecting with people, you're inviting, you're following up, you're posting, like, it's going to get easier to hit Success Club. Whereas in my brain, I was always thinking, I'm going to run out of people to talk to. I'm not going to have somebody next month. But I just kept doing the vital behaviors every single day, and I would hit Success Club. All right. Some months were easier than others. Some months were not. But I have been a coach for 3.5 years, and I consistently hit higher numbers every month. And those are just people. Now, I say numbers, like Success Club, but I help more people every single month because I've been consistent in doing those small things that we're teaching you guys to do. And I wouldn't understand that without something like this. The Compound Effect is a great one. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson is essentially the same one. But like, if you don't have time to sit down and read a book, like pop in your earbuds, get Audible. I listen to my personal development on the drive to and from work, okay? But don't skip that part because it is going to make or break your business, I promise. This is from somebody who didn't do it and then somebody that did do it. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for me? That's pretty much all I have for you right now. And so I'm going to unmute you. And so if you have questions, let me know.
I have one question.
Okay.
I'm struggling with the idea of making my Facebook public, and I know that will be, help me be more successful. I only have like maybe 200 friends right now too. So I know I need to add more people. I'm thinking about doing like a public like page maybe, and then keeping my Facebook private. I don't know if that's like a big no-no, but there's just like creepy people in my past. I know you can block people, but I just post so many pictures of my kids and stuff because I only have those 200 people that I actually really know and trust, that are people I know in real life, that I put like hundreds of pictures of my children and stuff that I would not be posting if it were public.
Right.
And I almost feel like making a totally new Facebook or something and keeping pictures of my kids off of there. But then you guys also say I have to still keep it real, show other aspects of my life that aren't just beach body. So I don't know which way to go with that. I guess I'm struggling with that.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely have that option of, making a like page. Now, like page are a lot trickier. You have to start from ground zero. You have to start with no friends, and like pages don't work the way that personal pages do. It's a lot harder to get your posts out there and for people to see them. So you can definitely go ahead and you could create a like page and start building it. But I personally suggest starting with your personal page. So here's the thing. You can control who you add as friends or don't add. But you can also control who sees the pictures of your kids. All right. So if you start adding, I don't add guys. Like, I actually delete guys. I don't seek out guys. I definitely don't have a lot of guy friends. So that's one way that I kind of protect against that. And you can block people if you do get some creepers, but I've never had any creepers. If I did, I just blocked them, But so I'm very intentional on who I add as friends. All right. That's first. Secondly, you can actually make the photos of your kids private so that just your friends see those photos, and make your like workout lifestyle post public. All right. So that's definitely something that I would suggest that you do. But I don't personally, unless you're like super savvy and understand like Facebook ads and all that stuff, like I don't suggest starting with a like page. Does that help?
Yeah, it does. I just struggle with putting my whole life out there like that. But at the same time, I see how it would be way more successful. So I'll just have to kind of play with it until I find something I'm comfortable with.
And, like I take a lot of pictures where like my kids are in the picture, but they're not in the picture. Like you can tell that it's my kids, or I talk about my kids, but I don't, necessarily always put their faces on social media. You can get creative with your posts. Melissa, were you going to ask something?
Yeah, Mary, one of the things that I had like at the beginning, because I was very private with my personal page, it's now public, and I still, when I post some pictures of my children, I will make it, only friends. But one of the things that got me thinking, and I don't know if this happens for you, you might have that network of 200, but if those friends like your pictures, can their friends then see your picture? So is it exposing it to more people than just that 200?
Okay, are you asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like I know, like if I tag my husband, for example, then all his friends now see my post, or like if they comment on it, it comes up in their feed or whatever. So.
Yeah. But if you make it private, I mean, only your friends can see it.
I want it to be successful in public, and I want it to be a balance between business and then how I've been Facebooking this whole time with just pictures of my family and stuff. But I feel like there's no amount of money or business success that's worth me giving up privacy and safety of my kids. And, I hold that so dear, and I just would never normally have a public Facebook. I just keep it all really private, and there's just people I don't need in my life knowing everything about me. I like to keep some things to myself. So, but I want this to be as successful as possible. So I'm just don't know which way to go with it. But I mean, I'll just start with my private Facebook of my 200 friends I have, and then maybe I'll eventually do a like page and just kind of get braver from there and figure it out. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that you can do it however you want to. But you can definitely post in a way that isn't too public, or just like the back.
I also don't
like the back.
Sorry.
Head, I have a friend who adopted a coach. She's a really good coach, and she adopted, and she can't put lots of pictures of Connor out there, but she'll do like a picture of the top of his head, or if she does post a full-on picture, like she makes it private, so I know that you can take measures to do that.
I also don't have an Instagram. I've never Instagrammed before in my life, but thinking I should probably start one if I'm going to start this business, and maybe that could be another way that I get to start fresh and clean from scratch with whatever pictures I want to put on there.
Yeah, your Instagram could be more of like your the business part of it. I mean, you still need to talk about your kids and stuff, but you can do that for sure. Okay. All right. Do anybody else have any questions? Mm-mm. All right, guys, good questions. All right. Well, stay plugged in to Vimify. Do your daily training. Do your 4 vital behaviors, and we will see you guys back here next week. Okay?
Awesome. Thank you.
Guys, you're welcome. Goodbye.
Thank you.